Hello, my name is Mordred Viking, and I'd like to welcome you to this stream of Hearts of Iron 4. This is Kaiserreich. It is finally back. I know it's been updated for Man the Guns for a couple of weeks now, but I just wanted to make sure that everything was, like, fixed. The hot fixes that inevitably come out, that type of thing, was all done. And I think we are now there. It has been a while since I played Kaiserreich anyway. I know there are a couple of things have changed, like Doomdwell was saying earlier that South America has really changed, and I loaded up yesterday as the Caribbean Federation because they're one of the nations that I really wanted to play as, and they have also got like a focus tree and everything like that. So that is something we'll probably visit in the future, but what I want to do right now is just do a game with Germany. Germany, I've always said, is like the nation you want to play as when you're like acclimatizing yourself with Kaiserreich in general. Like, if you want to see everything in the world that happens, play as Germany, because they're right at the heart of it all. So we're going to play as Germany, we're going to see what happens, we're going to see all the different civil wars and things spark off, we'll see how South America works, and we'll also be at the heart of the war itself, so it should be a pretty good game. In 1919, after 5 years of war, the German army finally overran the Entente defences in France. In 1921, Britain surrendered followed. The Weltkrieg has made Germany the uncontested world power, yet things have been going downhill for her since the 1930s. A recessive world economy has dampened the nation's industrial output while other nations' manufacturing power recovers, and now nationalism grows in Germany's eastern client states, who are starting to drift away from the Reich. In 1936, Germany stands at a crossroads, and already we can see cracks in her mighty empire, as her ancestral enemies are regaining their former strength. So, yeah. We have the victors of the Weltkrieg, which is a huge debuff. Quenched militarism, which is another huge debuff. We are in Mitteleuropa. They've changed how the faction mechanics work, I think. So there's Mitteleuropa, and then there's also the economic system. Don't know exactly how that works. That's one of the things we'll need to look at. And then a couple of the focuses: Aftermath of Black Monday, Easter Promises, and Renew Tirpitz Programm. But yes, we are going to play as Kaiser Wilhelm II. I'm going to do this one just on regular, so we actually get to play with more of the focuses and things. And I did want to see if they have added any special rules for countries in this. No, they haven't. Oh, excuse me. I'm not going to change any of those. I think we're just going to go straight, completely in vanilla. Let's do this. I don't think I've alt-tabbed, so this should load. Oh no, that's not true, because I had to change the sound settings. Okay, we have alt-tabbed. USA Civil War also got a rework. Yes, it did. I think the Civil War rework came just after I stopped playing. So basically everything since then I haven't seen. Do the Philippines have a focus tree? I'm not sure. What Kaiserreich country would I recommend for a first-time player? Germany. 100% Germany. Like, usually there's one or two countries... Yeah, it did crash. Where I can kind of say, this is good or this is good. For Kaiserreich, Germany. 100%. Yep, that same old bug. If I Alt-Tab at some point during the creation process, it just loads with no UI. I haven't seen anyone else get it. It's just me that gets it. Am I sure I don't want to buff France or Russia? Pretty good at the game. Nah, for the first time through, we're not going to change anything. After that, we can start tweaking it. Because I don't know how the balance looks. Because, like I said, I have not played Kaiserreich for quite a long time. And I know I said I wouldn't do it, but I am sorely tempted to do a community multiplayer. One I wouldn't play in, one I would commentate on, because I think a commentated one with like set rules, so I'd like preset the factions before we start playing, I think would be quite interesting. I'm not like promising that, but it's something I'm thinking about. Because just loading this up yesterday, I mean, just look at all these pictures, they're amazing. Just the amount of work that they put into this mod is it's insane. Absolutely insane. China's complete rework is in the works. Yeah, that's been in the works for about 2 years now. I was kinda sorta waiting for that, but it doesn't seem any closer to being released, so we're waiting. I have a noob question. Does annexing nations speed up the game? I don't think so. Oh, it might do, because it gets rid of armies, although then you're just building your own. Less AI actions, perhaps. Now, I'm really hoping that the music in this is not copyrighted. I'm fairly sure I'm just playing with the vanilla, because I did not get the music pack. Quick word about the game rules. All the normal options found in the starting events have been moved to the wonderful game options added in 1.6. You can now select the frequency of news events and naming system states for VPs to use, among other things. Isn't that fancy? Cool. Alright, so we are the German Empire. This is, for those of you who are unaware of Kaiserreich and its lore, this is basically a story of what would have happened if Germany had won the First World War. So we have the German Empire, Germany still exists, 1936, we still have Prussia and all of that stuff. And we also have a global empire, so Middle Africa here is our puppet state in Africa. AOG, the Allgemeine Ostasien Gesellschaft, that's one of my favourite names in the entire game, is our part of China. We also have a couple of little bits and pieces elsewhere, a couple of the islands, that type of thing. So a lot of the British Empire has been lost. The British and the French have been ousted, so we have the Commune of France and also the French Republic. The French Republic is what was formerly known as France before the communists took over. And then we have the Dominion of Canada over here, which is technically the remnants of the British Empire. The Union of Britain having been a communist revolution to take over Britain. So Britain's kind of an interesting position in the start of this, because the Navy remained loyal to the Empire. So the Dominion of Canada has the Royal Navy. The Union of Britain has a couple of ships, but they're not particularly strong. So you are like in a far more vulnerable position. It's actually kind of interesting to play as them, because you're like trying to rapidly rebuild your navy. What do? You have a lot of different options. It's kind of cool. Commune of France is just like a massive manpower. It's basically French Russia. France and Germany are the ones that usually have tensions. There are a couple of civil wars which will spark off all over the place. I'm not going to spoil that because it's kind of an interesting thing. Eastern Europe is being carved up, as you can see. Austria, Ottoman Empire, both of those were on the victorious side in the First World War. The Ottoman focus tree is one of the best in the game. It is kind of impressive. It's changed. This feels like it's changed. I remember the Ottoman one being a lot bigger. Oh no, it isn't. Right, the Ottoman one's all about the events. The Ottoman, like, there's a huge number of events which run the Ottomans. It's not so much about focus as about the events. And then my all-time favourite, Russia. Russia's focus tree is gargantuan. It's absolutely enormous and wondrous and incredible. And is also the way that you get this man here, right there. The Black Baron himself. There are just so many things that this game just gets completely right. It's so good. No, the Turks have the generic one, the Ottomans don't. They're doing an Ottoman Middle Eastern rework soon. Well, they just did a Middle Eastern one, because the Sultanates of Egypt, Abyssinia, and Somalia all got a focus tree. I'm going to say not too long ago, but that's not too long ago in terms of when I played last. And then also, like, Sardinia, which is one of my favourite focus trees, because they can basically just become this huge naval power, because they just take over all the shipyards. Yeah, they like, the entire reason for Sardinia existing is they're just one giant shipyard. It's fantastic. Two Sicilies, Papal States, the Socialist Republic of Italy, and then also the Italian Republic, so you have like a really divided Italy. Just the world building in this is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Oh, I'm excited to be back. As much as I am a little bit about Hearts of Iron, Kaiserreich just completely makes it worth it. Anyway, we are going to grab all of our soldiers. I'm going to put you into one army, and we are actually extremely well drilled. Interesting, so we should probably start deploying those. Do we have any colonial troops? We do. The Auslandsfestung something or other. The Outland Defense Forces. So that's you in Egypt. I'll put you in a new theatre. This is going to be the German Empire. Whoa, that was taking a picture. And this is going to be Homeland. And we're going to Let's see who else is around. We have Malta. Like, if these guys are in places that need to be... Whoops. Oh, there's two of them. Sweet. Malta is going to be heavily defended. Like I said, Germany has most of the British Empire, which includes places like Malta. Casablanca. This is a defensive position that's needed less. Let's have you defending Suez instead. You can defend Suez. Ceylon. Right. Sri Lanka. But I'm going to call you Ceylon. Because I think in this time period it was Ceylon. And then we have our one random marine unit in Madagascar. I'm tempted to send you back to the homeland. I'm going to send you back to the homelands. And we'll have you as like our one-man marine army. Alright, then we should probably divide up our regular forces a little bit. We're actually stronger than I remember. I seem to remember the Germans starting a lot more under strength than they are here. Oh right, fuel's a thing as well. I need to take a look at my fuel production. Like I said, a lot of things have changed. We don't currently have a weapons deficit, but I suspect we actually do. Political power, party popularity, stability, war support. Okay, there's a lot of different things going on here. And then also the German focus tree, which we will look through. Screw it, we'll have a look now. We'll have a look now. Fort Minor, thank you very much for the bits. Yes, finally Kaiserreich returns. Long live the Kaiser. Absolutely, long live the Kaiser. Nejdabal has trees as well as Persia. Oh, Persia has a tree. Oh, sweet. Actually, I knew that Nej did. I knew they did. Yeah, the Ottoman event is the coup and the cavalry charge in the palace and that type of thing. Do the Swiss have a special? Yes, the Swiss have a tree. Like, most countries in this have a tree. Hope in the next DLC they will revamp the focus trees of Italy and the Soviet Union and France. Like in vanilla, not in this. Look at Middle Africa, we can do that. Which is led by Goering. Yes. Time for change. Sovereign state versus African Landtag. New administration. Back to basics. Deal with the Europeans. Flemish investment. Oh yeah, the Belgians are quite strong in this. British. Well, I guess Middle Africa is after the Belgian investment because Belgium still owns the Congo. Although the Belgians were on the losing side in the First World War. No, they lost the Congo. Middle Africa is Congo. It's this bit. Okay, so they did lose that, but I guess the Belgians still have trade links with them. And it's not Belgium, it's Flanders, Wallonia, and then the Netherlands. The Netherlands, of course, having been independent. Queen Wilhelmina still in power. The Dutch focus tree, I seem to remember, is pretty cool. In fact, now with oil, does Indonesia have one yet? Please tell me Indonesia has one. They do! Hell yes! This is one of the things I was really waiting for, was Indonesia to get a focus tree. And they finally do. That's awesome. I mean, it's relatively generic, but it is a focus tree. And then Siam has a focus tree. That one's pretty good. I know the Indias do. Like, the only area that really is kind of lacking is China, honestly. Like, once the AOG gets a good focus tree, because right now it's still the generic one, that's quite possibly going to become my new favourite nation. Indonesia has two, technically the Dutch East Indies and Insulindia. Oh, cool. Was I still playing when they made the German an exile tree? Yes. Lose practically all the production ability when Black Monday hits Germany. Oh, I know. Nice, I got a day off from work and I get to see Mordred playing Kaiserreich. Yeah. They're planning on removing the OG. What? Oh, that's one of my favourite things. Just because the name is completely impossible for people not of Germanic descent to pronounce. The Allgemeine Ostasian Gesellschaft. It's a fantastic name. Is it actually written out anywhere? Because I'm fairly sure it used to be written out rather than just AOG. I'm not seeing it anywhere. Disappointing. And it's ruled by the board of directors. It's basically the East India Company. That's why I like it so much. It is definitely the best name in the game, yeah. Okay, so we should probably take a look at our focus tree so we can see what is happening. And also where we want to start building our production and infrastructure and that type of thing. Oh, laggy. Come on. Okay. It just cuts off the top. I was trying to drag and nothing was happening. That was weird. Because now it is. Okay, so Imperial restructuring will get us some political power. Easter promises more political power. Organize the youth. Gets us some guns and manpower. Oh, and that removes quenched militarism. So if we need to mobilize, we can do that. So, quenched militarism is a little bit easier to get than I remember. Aftermath of Black Monday is going to have to happen once the Black Week has ended. Another minister. Construction speed, production efficiency cap. We will lose 5 civilian factories from our core land. Or stability goes down. Stability goes up. This one gets us the Schachtplan, which is consumer goods, stability, production efficiency. Well, we haven't actually seen what Black Monday does, so at that point we will choose which path to go. Whether to try and rebuild stuff or by selling stuff. Finish Black Monday reforms, gets rid of Black Monday. Reform Mitteleuropa. Final reforms, and I'm going to guess that these require both of these. Then that's when we do our, like, internal diplomatic thing. So Germany, the German Empire is basically called Mitteleuropa, right? Actually, is it? Reichspakt is the alliance, then Mitteleuropa is this stuff. Yeah, I'm having to remember how all of this stuff works. State of the economy gets us political power, experimental research is industrial tech. Upgrade IG Farben. What's that? Is that a company? And this is my other favourite thing which Kaiserreich has done, is they completely changed. There's now ministers for different positions. Companies all are really different. You actually need to make some proper choices about that. Then also your military staff is really different. Really nice system, actually. Don't know what that does. There's the research slot. Kaiser Wilhelm Society. That's the science system. Oh! Right, Flanders Wallonia is a puppet, aren't they? Yeah, okay. That makes more sense to me now. They're like a buffer state between us and France. Then we have choices between Siemens, Krupp, or Mauser, which will determine our industrial system and eventually lead to economic boom. And then military expansion, fortifications, tanks and things. Renewed militarism as opposed to quenched militarism. We can only get this if we don't have quenched militarism, so we have to have got that through the other tree. So that's changed slightly, I think. And then naval power. Now, speaking of naval power, this does have man the guns, and I don't know if this has changed for this mod or if this has changed in the base game, because I haven't played the base game for a couple of weeks, months either. But you now have different tech trees for escorts and capital ships. So this is the escort tree. This is the only part of the tech tree that I think this is Kaiserreich. If someone wants to tell me if this is also in vanilla, please do, but I think this is just Kaiserreich. I was just surprised because Kaiserreich has not touched the tech tree before. Am I going to play as a Pacific state some point in the future? Possibly. Like, I really like the way that naval power works in Man the Guns, and Kaiserreich has a lot more need for naval stuff. And Pacific states would be one of them. Vanilla's just side to side. Okay, so this is Kaiserreich. So we have submarines, destroyers, cruisers, light carriers, then the capital ships, armoured cruisers, fast battleships, dreadnoughts, and then the heavy carriers. And then all of the different technologies associated with each piece. Which is basically the modules which you can then start to slap onto your ships. Germany, being an empire, actually has a pretty substantial navy, which is very nice to see. We will need to play around with how those are done because, yeah, they're no training at all. And we'll also need to take a look at their modules. We actually have a couple of tier 3 ships, which is interesting. Oh, there's another tier of ships, that's why. So we have tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, tier 5. So tier 3 is actually the 33 ship, it's not the 40, as we would be used to. And then everything else is the same. So we're going to start out with construction, or are we? Let's take a quick look at the focuses. Because the state of the economy would lead to experimental research pretty quickly. That's a 70 days, would take half the time. So then if we were to actually manually research this, that would be about the same amount of time. The question is, would we have a research slot available at that point? And the answer is quite simply no. So we're going to get that. We're going to get that. That. And then probably something military. Yeah, it doesn't look like anything else has changed. We could go radio. You know what, let's go radio. It's a good choice. Do we get any free infrastructure? If we go Deutsche Bahn, then yes. That's only with Siemens. We probably won't go Mauser. Although actually this can be either. So that's military factories, infrastructure, or building slots. I like the idea of Siemens because Siemens gives building slots. There's just more industry. Although these give us free factories, I actually just want the capacity because we're Germany. We have a huge capacity for just building factories. How does the German fleet compare to the Communion Union of Britain? They're competitive. They can probably beat them. Because the interesting thing is, it's a very viable strategy for the Union of Britain to do what Germany did historically and go for submarines and just try and starve Germany. Yeah, cheerio is just for saying bye, Marshall. It's not like ciao. Don't touch doctrines until you remove the national spirit. Yeah, that's true. Plus, I'm assuming that this has the man the guns thing where you can spend experience? Yes, you can. Okay. To double check that one. So I think we may well go for Siemens, although we do want to take a look at what the difference between Mauser, Krupp and Siemens are, because they are going to be here. So Mauser would give our infantry plus 10 soft attack, plus 10 breakthrough, and plus 5 hard attack, which I'm assuming is better than some of this stuff. So Sawyer and Son are just cheap. Walter is a bonus to everything. I like the bonus to defense and reliability. That's interesting. Haenel is a bonus to defense and reliability. I like that one too. Deutsche Waffen, massive bonus to soft attack. So Mauser is great for the breakthrough. That's their main advantage. They're the most offensive. That's not how I play, though. So Mauser is out, just on that basis. Krupp, I think, is one of these. There it is. Medium tank production cost minus 15%. Germany is not so much about cheap tanks as just amazing tanks. Now, where's my armor bonus? Defense plus 15 for heavy tanks. I think we're going to be going heavy tanks. Yeah, I think we're going to go with Damach. Defense, hardness, reliability, soft attack, hard attack. Just make our heavy tanks just impossible to destroy. No armor bonuses, though. I guess that's Austria. Austria has the tank armor bonus. Because defense and armor are not created equal. Armor is more useful. Yeah, we have no tank armor bonus. And you can have up to 2 tank bonuses, so we could go for like Henschel and Damach if we really wanted to tank out our heavies, for example. Fokker's not going to be here. This is going to... Oh, there's Krupp. Alright, there's loads of different Krupps. Which Krupp are we talking about particularly? Krupp Steel. Oh, these just upgrade them. We can still choose them. Huh. So this would make Mauserwerk stronger. We'll upgrade Krupp, we'll upgrade Siemens. Where's Siemens? Siemens is electronics, isn't it? Siemens. Oh, you do require subsidies for Siemens to do these. So we can get that one. This is like the low level, this is the high level. Yeah, Verbesset is improved. I see how that works. So where's Mauser Verbesset? That one you can only do with Mauser. It's not an upgrade, it's either or. Krupp. That one you can always get. So it's not that. This is sucky Siemens and this is good Siemens. We'll take a proper look at those in a minute. And then we have Krupp here. Oh, Krupp and then Krupp Monopoly. So this is without the Krupp Monopoly and this is with the Monopoly. 20% military factory construction speed. Okay, see, this is the kind of advantage I like. Although that's only a 5% bonus and also the industrial speed goes up. While if we were talking Siemens, tactical and strategic bombers. 15, 15, 10, 10. 15, 15, 10, 10. Anything that changes is the air research speed. Okay, so Siemens subsidy is not very good either. Krupp's is amazing. And Krupp would allow us to go for this line. So Siemens allows you to get 2 more factories, basically. Krupp gives you the civilian factories and also the research. Oh no, it's the same number of factories. It's build slots. In fact, Krupp gives you 1 extra build slot. Oh no, Siemens allows you to do this too. So Siemens gives you 1 extra... No. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 build slots against 5. Against Mauser, which doesn't give you any. That's not true. Mauser gives you 2. So Mauser is the least industrial. Siemens is the most, and then Krupp's in the middle. But Krupp also gives you the construction speed bonuses. I think we're going to go for Krupp. Which means I don't need to worry about the free infrastructure from those. So we'll need to build the infrastructure from scratch. That's the question I was trying to answer. And it doesn't look like there's anything else which gives free infrastructure. No. Okay, so we need to build infrastructure everywhere. We got there eventually. So we're going to start with Brandenburg. Do we have anywhere else that's an 8? You are, but you're actually full. fact, both of those Rhineland provinces are full as well. That's all my puppets. I don't really want to build up there.